Great.
So that's more of an online magazine, is it?
Yeah, it's online news, it is an online magazine, it's a daily thing. We post up very breaking news that this.
Okay.
And oh yes, a very article as well. Someone published it. So what will happen is that we'll just look at the camera for a few seconds, and after I introduce you, I will turn around and we just have a conversation like that. It's a very informal conversation.
Sure.
I look at glasses. I always wanted to get one of these.
No problem. Okay.
So just look. Hi, welcome to the National Queen's Trust Online News. Hi, my name is Stienberg, and today we have a very important guest from Postage. Postage is one of the premier Singapore catering company that has established innovations and as well as good management systems for the catering services for premium market here in Singapore. And I have here the Chief Operating Officer, Tony Seow, who will be sharing with us the present and future of customer service as well the philosophy of Postage. Mr. Tony Seow, welcome to the show again.
Thank you.
I know that Postage has gone through all kinds of different economic changes and reforms in the way you guys approach your customer. Each time, there's a downturn or upturn. Now, could you share with us some of the strategies of how Postage first started, and where is it going?
Started about 10 years ago. We wanted to be different. I was in hospitality for a while, and catering for a short moment, then went into global or local telco for a few years. When I came out trying to be an entrepreneur, I noticed that there is a niche market at a particular time where catering it's very mass. Don't have a branding, don't have a certain standard, don't have a certain classification, don't have some form of prestige to it. It is always viewed as catering as a very just another food supplier who brings from one end to another end without any finesse, without any touch of class and touch of premium to it. So I thought there should be some market for it, because the catering world at the time, 10 years ago, is a very low-end budget, sort of $10-12 kind of thing, and anything above $15-20 Singapore, people would think, oh, it's too expensive. And decoration now, odd colors, not blend together, tablecloth and things are dirty. There is no pride into that particular industry. And everybody puts us at the bottom. It's always cutting budget. They will just be cutting at the caterer when an event is happening, when they have to cut budget. Food always gets cut. So I thought it would be good to come up with a brand that is premium, with a touch of class, something different, something a little bit more, just a little bit notch below hotel, and above the rest, so that you fit a certain market right there. And then you charge a little bit premium, you pay attention to the details, you become one-stop shop, and you deliver and you finish it with the finesse, and people actually liked it. So that's how we beginning of Purple Sages, everything started to be different. So we sort of changed the whole catering scene.
Now, you spoke about changing the whole catering scene and the market itself, the way they perceive catering. Now, how did you overcome the odds? Because I know that you're a premier catering company. How do you brand yourselves without even having to advertise? And what's the strategy on that issue?
Gone were the days when we don't advertise. Now we do. We need it. But at that time, when you are providing something where everybody needs it and everybody wants it, so I'm providing two instead of the usual one. I provide instead of usual need. I provide a one, two. They need catering, but they want someone who's a little bit more finesse, a little bit more boutique, a little bit unique, and we do that and we customize. So that itself creates a lot of buzz, and it also creates a lot of what you call word of mouth. When people telling each other, say, hey, this is not bad, this one you should try this, you should try that. So of course, that gives us the ability to not to do a lot of major advertisement. But I think 10 years ago, we were also the very first few who really believe in website. So we already created a very, very comprehensive website that basically user-friendly, and when you click, it tells you everything. And so 10 years ago, I mean, you gotta understand technology changed quite a fair bit. 10 years ago, we were the first to do SMS, to go and tell people what's going on. We were first to do newsletter 10 years ago. It's unheard of. Nobody sends newsletter to the client. Nobody sends educational stuff to client to teach them what's going on, what's happening. So we do that. We send to a lot of people. And so that's why we built that brand loyalty and that brand awareness, because people needed that and wanted that. Of course, down the road, we would have to get involved as the media, social media change. We would have Facebook, we would have a blog, we would have changed a lot more things. Recently, we just changed our web page to be able to accommodate iPad, Mac, because too much flash. A lot of people are using Mac and iPad, and they cannot order through iPad. So we have to revamp and keep with it. 10 years later, things change, right?
Yeah.
So that's the difference.
So now speaking about the changes and able to adapt to new technologies, how important is customer service, the philosophy of customer service to Purple Sage?
Very important. When I first started this together with a couple of friends, the intent was very clear. It is to first be a brand first. So in order to be a brand, we have to have constant branding along the way. So we came up with CI, corporate identity. I am sure not a lot of people have done that at the time for brand identity for a catering company. But how we apply this is we apply it through the most obvious. It's the uniform of every one of us staff. Every staff will have its brand applied on it. But not just a normal distinction. A little bit different where they have images where the logos are placed differently and unique. And the design didn't run out. Instead of a normal flat logo, we have it tilted and spread across the shoulder. And it's still used today. Our sugar packaging, our cups, our plates, our utensils are all branded with our logo. Our trucks are all painted purple color. So a lot of people say, oh, we know your brand because there's this purple color truck driving around. I think that's what is unique about it, is that you use what you have to do the branding. The card itself, its name card is white but has purple in the back. The napkins are branded. So with a lot of this brand put into it, it creates a consistency. And that's the first step. Second step is the service staff are also being trained. We make sure that it's no more one of those service staff who come with gold chain or long fingernail or a tattoo color, or a tinted color. We make sure that they wear black shoe, black pants, black socks, no white socks, no half socks, no ankle socks. We make sure that they comb their hair right. We make sure they groom themselves so that there's a consistency, and so that we also do constant training update. Therefore, they know that they take pride. And once the staff take pride in their brand, the company they work for, then their perception, their attitude would have also changed. That's the intent. So that's why customer service would be quite straightforward if you say you train them. But you must give them a belief. If they don't believe in their brand, how will they bother to give you a good customer service? Of course, in HR, we also treat them with respect. We treat our staff with respect. We give them a say. We make sure that they're taken care of. When you treat your staff right, your staff also feel prideful enough to say, you know what, I need something different.
Now, speaking about doing something different and creating the brand among your staff as well as to the perception of your customers, you must have taken a lot of pain to invest in the beginning to ensure that you get it right. Is that true?
Yeah, I would say so. It's unheard of in the beginning when you want to invest into the branding and putting it everywhere. People say, so why do that? Invest in training. A lot of our service staff have won an award for excellent customer service and a local award on Star Award. But to sign up for classes, it costs money. It takes time out. When you take time out, actually, you are not giving. They're not working. Some of them are paid hourly. So yes, it is a lot of investment in the beginning, in time and in money.
But does it pay off?
Well, I'm sure it paid off today because a lot of the people we train today are leaders and team leaders and department heads. So yes, I would say so. Yes.
Now, speaking of moving forward for innovations, what sort of innovations do you see right now going forward for the next 5 years for the catering industry? And how would that change? Because there's a lot of currency changes, inflation, and so forth. And how are you going to overcome those odds?
I mean, inflation has definitely gone up and affects the cost of goods, and affect pricing for sure. Catering, unfortunately, is not like a restaurant where everybody view that when a restaurant knock up the price because the market is shortage of flour, rice, oil, or products that is expensive and flying. The restaurant up the price and then everybody follows, everybody accepts it because the ambience creates that feel that you have to pay the difference. Catering, unfortunately, is viewed as you can get it 50% cheaper or get it so much cheaper compared to a restaurant. But that's not true because we don't get 50% off when the supply us. So a good A-class restaurant, fine dining, would buy something a kilo at this price. We would buy something, same item, a kilo at the same price. Not because the restaurant gets it cheaper, then they can charge, or we get it cheaper, we can charge it lower. No, we get the same price. We just don't have the ambience, and so that's tough on pricing. However, we have to be creative. So one of the ways we go about doing is we do customization menu now. We allow people to customize the menu based on their budget. So if you think you prefer this budget, then we customize it based on what it is, rather than we fix the menu like the traditional menu A, B, C, or 1, 2, and 3. We allow customization that creates pricing. We allow you to do a minimum packs and you can mix and match. That's another thing. We also turn into innovation in our food, make it different. We have gone into store concept, which is cooking on the spot, which we create a store like a buffet, like a hotel, but at your venue. We've gone into gastronomy, molecular, molecular size food that we can charge a premium, that sort of justify the price. When I say gastronomy, I'm talking about sit-down dining. So we've gone into sit-down dining where we allow you to feel the ambience, where you decorate the place down. The price includes the decoration and you done up the whole place where you sit down and you have a 4-course, 3-course dinner or a degustation dinner. We've gone into creating a unique menu and recipe so that it fits. So in this case, we would take, for example, we launch PM. The painter was John Coons, and he has a lot of color on the car. We match the food to the color to the car paint. And that's customization to the extent. We've done an event for a particular company where it is a media company, and they have David Achilada here, and so they wanted to have the food to be a bit unique and prepare on the spot. And it's warm and it's related to the theme that they have a show they want to launch. So we prepare that for their request. So that's how we can do different. For catering industry, the way I look at it is it's so low entry barrier. Right? Anyone can go to catering in Singapore, and it's a tough market. It's a first mover advantage, I have to agree, for us. But anytime if we don't watch our back, we could slip. because of pricing, because of things you offer. Things has changed quite a bit. So I think moving forward, I've always championed consulting. I always championed merger and acquisition. I think the only way to go is to go big, to go bigger, and have the reach to reach the premium market. Purposely have created a brand called Simply Buffet, and that's for the halal market and the mid-range to no frills market. Because Purposely is on the details, frills, with a lot of little padding. With less padding, will be Simply Buffet. And I think it would be great if we create another brand at lower end where it's a deli, or it's a pick up and go. And so if you can either create one, or if not merger and acquisition, and create a whole spectrum, and you cover the whole range, that would be the way to go, I think, moving forward.
And moving forward, you share with us that Purple Sage does customizations according to the budget wise, and still, while you innovate for your customers, you're still able to add a bit of class according to the budget. Is that right?
Yes, we're still able to give you a touch of class that makes it a bit different from the rest.
Yes, amazing. So folks, please do contact Purple Sage if you are interested to have a touch of class that will meet your needs and your budget. Again, moving forward, also, Mr. Seow, when you had all this coming at you, you have created a few segment classes to meet different segment markets now today. You believe in catering to perfection, and many have realized that you are no nonsense. You don't want to leave out any single detail missing. But moving forward, about your staff, some of them, or probably most of them, are employed full time, and recently there was an announcement by the government that they want to encourage employers to provide benefits for their families and so forth, and as well as CSR. How does your company view this?
I think CSR is definitely something we are trying our best every time to get involved. Unfortunately, we cannot recycle food, or we have a lot of wastage of food. We cannot pack them and give to people because of the Ministry of Environment has rules here that nowadays you can't serve food after certain hours, and if you cook from this hour to this hour, there's a range of 4 or 5 hours. Anything after that, you have to dispose. So I think that's very sad. There are a lot of programs are done simply because of just 1 or 2 cases of food poisoning, and then everybody get panicked. The government, clamp down on caterers, which it's a little bit unfair. It's only on caterers, but not on the restaurant. It's always the caterer getting the main complaint. But restaurant too, when you pack food from out the restaurant, you have poisoning too. You have food poisoning too. So I think that sort of stop us from being able to do anything, because usually we try to pack food and give it to security or people or old folks because a lot of food we cook are still in trays. It's not been touched. It's still warm. It's kept in a warmer, but we can't distribute anymore. We have to sort of throw it away. But we do once in a while a few caterings for some old folks home. Our company, or my CSR, very much it's about providing a training ground for the youth. A lot of our company staff are very young. The average age is about 28, 27. That's very young company. A lot of Gen Y. A lot of my marketing staff has come and gone. They 2 years, 3 years, 1.5 years. They are all genuinely fresh grad at 22 to 24, up to 25. I've spent a lot of time training in the last 5 years. Everyone who come in, I'll spend personal time to train. That's my form of CSR, where we are giving them a platform, because the standard interview question is, do you have experience? If you got no experience, they don't hire you. I look at the person's aptitude, the person's attitude, and the person's hunger, and we would hire them, purposely to bring them in, and we give them a chance to do what they have to do, and give them that chance to have the experience. They could work with us for 1.5 years, 2 years, they leave, and someone after their experience says, yes, I work for Sage for 2 years or a year and a half. And two things brings: one, they have experience; two, they work for a decent known catering company. People say, oh, okay, cool, we'll take them in. So that's my CSR. It's giving back and training them and putting time, rather than just trying to hire someone at 30-something with experience and have been through a few years. Then I'll just, be able to go play golf. No, I think it's good to be able to spend time with them. The rest of my staff, in F&B, we are known to be quite good in our retention. The average F&B retention in Singapore is about, I would say it's about like 60-70%. They have an average turnover of 40%, 45%. If you're conservative, it's 30%. Our turnover is at 20%.
Really?
Yeah. So which means that a lot of us are long service award. My hands will start to shrivel. We have to give long service award every time when it comes to it. So we're talking about like 8 years, 9 years, 7 years, 8 years, constantly wrong. So that's across the board. We're talking about operation, kitchen, everything.
Looks like you're gonna have to give away a Rolex watch to some of us literally 30 years one day.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be a lot of long service. Yeah.
So what is the secret behind the retention of the staff that stays so long? What kind of reviews do you get from your staff?
I think, as I mentioned earlier on, it's first creating a brand sense of belonging. It's like Maslow hierarchy has a saying of self-belonging or self-actualization. So one of the things is about belonging. I think you create an environment that is work-life balance, personal and your business life is balanced. You give them the care and concern, the tender loving care. You give them the respect, the empowerment. You give them the ability to make decisions, and then a brand that they can look up to. And I think personal touch. I think being in touch with the market and being in touch with the Gen Y. I'm not Gen Y for sure, but to be able to be in touch with Gen Y and spend time and understand and talk to them and create that opportunity. I think that's where the difference is. One example I remember was we have a staff who is working in the operations side. And she's a very young, sweet girl, and you can tell she's very dainty. She's not ready to do any major operation stuff. She was employed to run in the restaurant for us. Unfortunately, the restaurant contract didn't go through. So I gave her a choice. I said, you can leave the company because we don't have that, or you can continue employment, but I will have the same this role for you, which is an admin job. And I said, when you have to go out and serve. I remember clearly she told me she wanted to make customers smile. I wanted to hear customers say, yes, I enjoy that, thank you very much. So I gave her a chance, and instead of just being desk bound, you get to still go out and serve. Big occasion. You become my specialized big occasion server. She's happy, she took the job. A year and a half later, remember last month, she tells me she's going to quit. She's done enough for a year and a half, and she's going to graduate. I said, what do you graduate in? I said, I'm graduate in marketing, business admin. Business admin minor in marketing. I said, you know what? Have you ever considered moving to another department? How old are you? Just 22. When you transfer to the sales admin, you become a sales admin. This time around, you're doing different. You get to see client on a different level. Front, no more back. Front end of the house, no more back end. In both sense. Back end, she's operational. She's always in back end. But now she's in front in sales. She gets to see people. She also meet the people who are at the front who order the catering. So I say, wouldn't that be good? So she took it. So that will be another year and a half for her. That's a good 3 years straight away. Right? But I think I provide an opportunity for her to learn. I understand. Try to spend time. That's where we create that. And I think anybody will want to stay on if you give them a little bit of pay adjustment, go to a new job, and then try something new. Because it's all about learning. It's all about growing. That's what the difference is.
Now, you talk about learning and growing the leadership itself. What is leadership in your own perspective for Purpose Age? You as a leader, you're the chief operating officer today. People look up to you and they read your name card. Oh, chief operating officer. Wow. What does it mean to you?
I guess leadership. It's about. You don't need a title to be a leader. I think that's the first thing I believe in.
Really?
I told my staff. I said, you don't need a title to be a leader. You need the initiative. you need to have the foresight. If you see something is not right, you need to speak up. I've changed my name card recently. I'm no longer called the COO. I changed it to the Sage. So I think being a knowledge provider, you just put there as the Sage. I think the people will understand that it's you. I think there are many different kind of leadership. I am more of a servant leader. I'm a leader by example. So I think for me, leadership, it's about taking the initiative, having the vision, being involved, and then being able to stand up and say, look, we can go further, we can do this different, this is how we can do it, and lead by example, rather than just point. I think if I believe that we should go into blogging, I should do something about it. If I believe in Gen Y, I should have an active social page to be able to keep them engaged. And I should bother to ask and get questions and find out and be among them. Then you can be that better leader.
So you will actually have your own Facebook page where your employees are able to get in touch with you.
Yes.
Wow, and you're prepared to be transparent.
Yeah. We add all our employees, they add us. We even have kitchen team has its own private chat group, and operation has their own private chat group. The kitchen team will have their own private chat group because when they have food that's not right, they are given a sparring corner, and they go to the Facebook, and they are allowed to comment on each other in the Facebook. Because I think it's easier to comment something on the Facebook than face to face. Say, hey, today the food you cook is not up to par. I think there's a lot of pride issue when it comes to chefs sometimes. So in the Facebook, I think it's easier. In private group, nobody needs to know. Only between the top chef all the way down to this more junior cook, they can shoot at each other in the Facebook, in their own private group. That's what I heard they have been doing it, which is good.
So you encourage your staff in participating leadership where they're able to participate and also lead by example because they feel that it is the right thing to do and because they see in you that that's what it should be done.
Yes. We used to have a little traditional in Purple Sage office, a little test where we know someone is walking down the road, our hallway, and we know that so and so is walking down, a new staff. We want to test whether he has initiative just for the sake. Whether this is a real test or not, we don't know. Whether it's successful or not, we don't know. It's not been certified by anyone, but it's certified by us. What we do is we will either throw a pen or throw something along the pathway when he's walking by, something that is of course the company's daily use item. And then we notice through, because our office is a lot of glass panel, we just notice and watch whether the guy walk by and bother to bend down and pick it up. We are in the service industry. We can't help, but we could be in tie and suit and formally dressed, and when we are at a very fine dining event with a lot of server, when the glass crack, we don't wait for the auntie and uncle to come and mop it up. We will bend down, squat down and start to clean. So I think one of the tricks we do is we throw something on the floor, and if the guy walk by and he doesn't bother to bend, pick it up once or twice, I think this guy may not have the initiative, unless he didn't see. But if you can see something quite obvious in the fork on the floor, you might want to pick it up and go put it in the right department. That's our little test for initiative, taking initiative. But that's something interesting that we do.
Now, is there any one particular dish? I mean, you're in the catering business. Is there any particular dish over at your office that you can't live without, but you can't have that every day?
I won't have it every day. I won't have it outside. But the dish that I really crave for is only when someone orders it as leftover, I will eat it, or leftover, or they cook extra. It's our signature Purple Sage laksa.
Oh.
Our laksa is a little bit more thick, a little bit more heavy, a little bit more full cream, a little bit more pungent as well. Not pungent, I think, more aroma. And so it's something to die for. But because it's so heavy with coconut, sometimes you can eat too much.
So you're gonna have your laksa for your birthday then?
Well, if it's ordered, but I try not to eat too much though, because that's a lot of calories. Yeah.
Now you spoke about mergers and acquisitions also. Is there any plans? Because you say the only way to stay ahead is to grow. And is there any plans for mergers and acquisitions?
Definitely true. Definitely there is. Recently we have merged with investing company who wants to believe in our product and who wants to come in. And because we are growing organically, simply buffet, and that's not powerful enough. So we merged with an investor company that come in with the funds to pump in to build another kitchen for Simply Buffet. So today Simply Buffet is a different kitchen. It's about 3,005 square feet, and compared to our present kitchen, we're looking about like 5,000 square feet. We're looking at almost 8,000, 9,000 square feet of space for both different kitchens. So with that, we can be a bit more stronger in production. We are really testing market and producing certain things for people as a production and bulk for them. We definitely would want to, with this investor, to look into possibility of growing with different companies. I personally think that Purple Sage has reached a level of certain branding that you can go one way is to go into production, its own sauces and own paste and own marinade and bottle it, which costs quite a fair bit of money to the bottle, but it has its name. The other way is the franchise model. I think a lot of people say that being a catering company you can't franchise. That's not true. Every country in the Southeast Asia region is growing. The gap of the more affluent and the least affluent and the need for a little bit more premium, a little bit more boutique form of catering has been growing. And a lot of time, for example, if you take things like China, you take things like Thailand, even in Japan, or even in Vietnam, they all depend on the catering of hotel to provide the premium service. So if you go to a very fine event in Shanghai, the hotel will provide the catering. You go to a very premium event in Thailand, the hotel will provide the catering. If you launch a car somewhere out in the wonderful Tokyo Tower area, the hotel will provide the catering. And you're always paying through your nose. Why hotel? So why can't we take the brand of Purple Sage to go to a foreign country and merge with somebody, a top restaurant, a decently grand restaurant, it could be a Thai restaurant that is providing Thai catering food, but with a touch of fusion with Western, or with a little bit of international. Hire a couple of chefs, a Thai chef, a French chef, maybe a few Western chefs, put together the kitchen, combine it, and then you do that catering under the name of Purple Sage Thailand.
Wow.
Purple Sage Shanghai, Purple Sage Beijing. We done that before. We closed our Beijing branch when we were going through a tough time in 2009, because of the economic crisis, and we couldn't maintain both sides. But we did it for 6 months to about 7 months over there. And our first event was actually for Baidu. Second event was actually for Armani. Where you have Armani doesn't want a hotel. They want to pay a certain premium, but they want to spend the money on the venue. So the food, they want something a bit more reasonable. They bring us in, they bring the service down, we do the catering. It's still Italian in Beijing, in the Hutong, but it's done by a catering company, Purple Sage Beijing.
Wow.
So I think the model, it's more, they take the bulk of the shares. We come in as just a small little shareholding, and then work with them, and then we transfer a technical know-how to them. I think that's what Singapore is doing every day now. It's about transferring technical knowledge to these people, and of course they could do it. I'm sure they can create that sometime. But we form a good partnership that brings them to the next level. And put it this way. If you have a big company in Singapore, you're growing a region ahead. One day, if you go to Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh,